What is this? New rank exploit matchmaking EOMM algorithm.
NetEase Games has been in hot water with the competitive community due to its very suspicious matchmaking. The infamous engagement optimized matchmaking, or EOMM, has gradually echoed throughout the player base, but many still aren't aware of its existence or its true nature. This method of matchmaking prioritizes maximizing the player engagement and retention time using deliberate predicted patterns of win or loss outcomes. Hence, we're subtracting the competitive integrity in a game, especially in ranked, and it shows. With a lot of players experiencing extreme loss streaks that defy the rules of probability. In this video, I'll be giving you a full breakdown of how EOMM can be influencing your Marvel Rival matches in ranked so that you as a player can better navigate how to climb in competitive.
So this right here is shout out to the guy that made this video right here. Shout out to him. He made this video a day ago. So this video right here is explaining the EOMM, and EOMM is nothing new. It's been around for a couple years now. You know what I'm saying? It went from SB&M to now EOMM. And now it is plaguing Marvel Rivals, you know what I'm saying, in quick matches, rank play and all that stuff, just to try to solidify the outcome of games and stuff like that, to try to, you know, keep player attentions onto the game where, you know, maybe you was only destined to play Marvel Rivals for an hour, but now since you're on a winning streak, you want to keep on going. Or maybe you was destined to play Marvel Rivals for 4 hours and you was winning, then you started losing, and then you won one game and you told yourself you was about to get off, but now you're like, damn, I was just on a losing streak. I won a game. I'm feeling good. Let me play a couple more games, and now you stay on the game. Before you know it, you stayed on the game for 8 to 12 hours when you only say you was going to be on there for 4. I'm trying to tell people, and I've been saying this for a long time, and I made a video about this during Call of Duty BO6, but online gaming now is pretty much like a slot machine. It's pretty much like going to the casino in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? All these games are following the same steps and principles that these casinos follow to get people addicted to gambling. That's all this is right here. This is the new age of gambling right here, is online video games. It's the new age of gambling. And they're using the same proprietary systems and tactics that casinos use. They're using those type of studies and researches and, you know, R&D and stuff like that. They're using that same shit to get people addicted to their game before they can keep player attention. That's all they're doing. You see it in Marvel Rivals. You see it in Call of Duty. You see it in Fortnite. You see it in all these games that has came out within the last decade or so. You know, they follow the same type of principles. None of this shit is truly real. There's always some type of asterisk behind everything that's going on in these games nowadays. You know, you going on a winning streak, got you feeling good, like you're the best player in the world. But in hindsight, though, the algorithm made sure that you was matched up with some of the lowest tier players in the world for you can have that outcome. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're a guy that, you know what I'm saying, you've been on a hot streak or whatever, and now it's your turn to lose and stuff like that. And now you're questioning yourself like, damn, do I really suck at the game? No, you really don't suck at the game, because what is sucking at a game? There's always going to be somebody better than you. So what is the true definition of sucking at a game or being good at the game? Unless you're truly number one. And sometimes that might have an asterisk behind it, because there's so many other factors that play a factor into you being number one, especially in a team-based game. But unless you're number one, you can never sit there and say that you suck at the game or you're good at the game. You're pretty much just going with the punches. That's all it is. It's just like a slot machine. You know what I'm saying? Like a slot machine is designed to keep you addicted. You win a little, you lose a little. You win a little, you lose a little. You win a little, you lose a little. It's just a back and forth seesaw. And in your head, you're telling yourself, oh, eventually I got to hit big. You're not going to hit big, bro. Your ass is literally on a hamster wheel right now, man. That's all it is.
Spent some serious hours going through boring research material full of jargon and bullshit and translated everything you need to know into an easier to understand video. You're welcome. If you appreciate this and learn something that gives you an edge in the game, like this video so that it reaches those who think this is still conspiracy coping, and subscribe for more content. With that, let's begin. Alright, first we'll be discussing the frequently used term churn rate and how it affects your in-game matchmaking. What is a churn rate? The term churn rate in this context refers to when players stop playing for a period of time. So, for example, a lower churn rate would mean there is a higher engagement and playtime within a game title. Since NetEase lacked an index to accurately measure patterns in a churn rate, Foxy AI Lab developed the 8-hour churn threshold in matchmaking. A player is labeled under the 8-hour churn if they do not play any matches within the next 8 hours after logging off. But why did NetEase choose to implement this threshold, and why is it working? Well, if you hadn't noticed yet, 8 hours normally aligns with the person's sleep time, work shift, or even the duration of an average school day. If a player gets back on within 8 hours, they're flagged to be engaged in what's called extended play. When you're in extended play, the matchmaking marks you as a player that is not at risk of disengaging from the game. EOMM encourages extended play through controlled win-loss streaks. Put simply, the game will use the 8-hour churn threshold to track your engagement patterns, which then enables matchmaking to analyze these patterns and form predicted win-loss streaks. This is done to maintain extended play users and reduce disengagement among the player base. Not only that, EOMM recognizes desperate and fatigued players that are more sensitive to the match time duration and pick out matches that are slightly more favorable to win while also in a shorter duration. This is some pretty crazy shit, and we're not...
So basically, like I've been telling people for the longest, basically you're a science project. That's basically what it is. You're a science project, you're a guinea pig. And you're along for the ride. That's all. That's it. I mean, prime example. Look at the games that we did today. How from yesterday, we're sitting there, the same team, the same guys. We're sitting there whooping ass and winning everything and this and that and just dog stomping everybody. Till today, we can't get a win to save our life. It's loss. And then as soon as I say, all right, this is my last game, I'm about to quit. It's like with my microphone being on, the game hears me saying that, like, this is my last game, I'm about to quit. Oh, all of a sudden now we win. Man, I'm off the game, bro. I ain't got time for this. I'm off the game, bro. I'm off, man. Like, I'm off the game, bro. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's bro, it's crazy, man. That in today's gaming, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, in today's gaming, bro, there's so much fuckery that's going on in the background. Like, there's no game that you're playing that's totally legit. There's always something funny going on. If you're winning all the time, eventually the matchmaker is going to put you against the hardest competition ever. If you're losing all the time, eventually the matchmaking, I can't talk. The matchmaking is going to put you against the easiest competition ever. Sometimes they even put you against AI bots. Crazy. But it happens. Because yes, there is AI bots in this game. But it's not generic. You know what I'm saying? It's not organic. You know what I'm saying? It's all, you know what I'm saying, a generic type of thing, man. It's nothing about this that's, you know what I'm saying, you know, fluent or realistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they're going to figure out a way to stop you, or they're going to figure out a way to push you up the ranks. They know what they're doing. You got to realize something. These are multi-million-dollar, sometimes billion-dollar companies. You don't think that they can't have the money and the resources to figure out what makes people think and what makes people want to stay and play something over and over and over and over and over again? They know what to do, man. I'm telling you. When we made that Call of Duty video, we watched that one video how top casinos sit there and what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I can't even think of what I'm looking for right now. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. God damn, I'm bro. Public education, man. Public education. God damn, man. But top casinos and stuff like that, they sit there and they invest money. That's the word I was looking for. Invest. They invest money into organizations that they do this type of research and development about people's attention and what makes people feel comfortable, what makes people do a certain action over and over and over again. There's agencies that do this type of shit, and they spend lots of money to get this type of information for they can utilize it in their casino. So why you don't think that a video game company won't do the same thing? Because what is different from a video game than a casino? It's all a game. It's all a game, right?
Message.
It's all a game.
Not even close to the good stuff. So the reason for most matches feeling like an absolute steamroll is because the AI matchmaking penalizes longer and closer games, so they aren't as likely to occur. Their data indicates that the longer a match goes for, the less likely a player is to queue into another one. Which, this does make sense, as longer matches, in my opinion,
And that's because the majority of people nowadays have this short attention span, this whole TikTok type of mindset. So anything that's longer than 5 minutes, that's too long for people. Like, oh my gosh, you want me to sit here longer than 5 minutes and do something? Oh my gosh, you're trying to kill me. Like, that's the type of world that we live in nowadays. People cannot sit somewhere and do something for 5 minutes. Like, they don't want to play a game that takes 20 minutes long to finish or 30 minutes long to finish. No, they want it to be quick and easy. Quick and easy. Or even if they're on a losing streak, they want it to be quick and easy. All right, I'm losing. I'm going negative. Hear up this game. Let's hear up this game before I go on to the next game. Quick and easy. Let's go. Let's go. Even if they're winning, let's hear up and beat them. Like, it's the same process.
are mentally exhausting and can eventually seem not fun. Can you imagine putting your best effort into a 20 to 30 minute match just to lose? It's
Right.
crushing enough to make anyone log off. I mean, even if you did win, you might feel content with that effort and not want to play anymore. But you know what would make you feel unsatisfied and wanting you to play more? Having a quick match that was too easy. You probably won't get that satisfying dopamine rush and continue queuing until you get it. Whereas if you just have a quick curb stomping loss, it leaves you unfatigued and ready to continue the chase for that insatiable dopamine of winning big. And you'll want to
Facts.
prove you belong higher on the ranking system. Who wants their friends seeing that they dropped 2 or 3, maybe even 5 divisions down from their original rank? An article released by NetEase themselves discusses how selecting players of the same skill level or rank for matches does ensure fairness, but isn't always good for the player engagement. The paper describes EOMM having better results of engagement by manipulating matches into win-loss streaks or combinations. Engagement-optimized matchmaking prioritizes the satisfaction and happiness of the player rather than constantly upholding competitive integrity. The main utility factors that are being used to quantify player satisfaction are the score difference between teams, match duration, predicted churn, latest match outcomes, and queue wait time. These factors are then plugged into an equation that calculates your projected maximized satisfaction. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I be satisfied when the game is railing me with loss streaks? And that's probably because you play more when you lose. If you show the game that you're a masochist and you're okay with losing, you won't get off no matter how many times you lose, what do you think is going to happen? The game is going to recognize this pattern and keep you down. This is why it's important to get off when you're losing too much. Although that can be hard for many compulsive players out there. Still, it needs to be done if you want to rank up. Now before we move on, I'd like to quickly discuss queuing and how it plays such a big role in matchmaking. Queuing in Marvel Rivals is pretty well known to be speedy, but why is this? It's not just because it has a large player base, although that is the sole reason why EOMM can function in the first place.
Facts.
It's because matchmaking can pick more diverse skill levels to fill rather than everyone in the match having the same skill level. You'll notice
Facts.
that you will inevitably get a player that is determined not to be as good as everyone else in the match, either that be on your team or the enemy team. This kills two birds with one stone by having more influence in swaying matches in a controlled manner and having more players to pull from in quickly executing a successful match found. Now for my favorite segment of this video, we'll be looking at a visual that paints the picture of what NetEase's...
And that's a prime example. Like when I play in my matches, right? Let's just say quick play, for example. When I'm on a losing streak, I'm getting paired up with, people that ain't never played ranked before, bronze players, all that good old stuff. And then when I look at the opposing team, I'm going against Celestials, Grandmasters, Plat, all this old shit. And then when it's my turn to finally start winning, now I'm getting the Grandmasters and the Plats and stuff like that. And then I look at the opposing team, they're all, silver and bronze players and stuff like that. It's like, bro, this shit is fixed. This shit is fixed, bro. It's not just the game picking random people just to get the game up and running and stuff like that, or the match up and running. It's sitting there strategically going through with a fine comb and picking the players that it wants to pick, depending on if it's your turn to lose or your turn to win. And the guys that's in your lobby on your team, you're getting matched up with people that it's their turn to lose or it's their turn to win. You know what I'm saying? The same thing for the other team. They're getting matched up with people where it's their turn to win or it's their turn to lose.
EOMM actually looks like. So we can see here that the matchmaking starts
Look at this
with a request, and then it goes and plugs into a matchmaking server with matchmaking algorithms, which arranges queuing players into competitions to maximize the player's satisfaction. One of these algorithms adjusts malicious behavior control, detection and punishment against cheating, piggybacking, or I guess boosting, that would be, power leveling, smurfing, etc. Then we have multi-dimensional capability assessment, real-time capture of players' capability from various perspectives. This could maybe be like whatever role you have, or main. Maybe you play support or flex, DPS and tank, that sort of deal. Multi-aspect considerations of balance, network latency, psychological effects, consecutive defeats. Why is that labeled under psychological effects? Who knows? Maybe there's a gambling aspect to this. Interpersonal play, or interpersonal interplay, social relationship team-up effect. Huh. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Right.
Integrative measure of competition quality. Evaluate player satisfaction and user engagement through competition simulation and win predictions. So it's not real competition, it's simulated competition. So guys, it's not that the matchmaking is rigged, it's just that the matches are predicted and formulated to favor one team over the other to simulate competition. I'm so silly for thinking otherwise.
Right.
Chart analysis, assign selective teammates and adversaries for each player. And I guess they got the assign robots. I'm sure that's for quick play, or I don't know, maybe lower elo like bronze. And then you can see in the right the data collection, balance analysis of gameplays, churn pattern mining, group analysis of players, performance rating, capability chart, enhancement, recommendation, in-game real-time win prediction. I like that. And then we got in-game real-time comments generation, which I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's what the players are saying in the comments. If you can interpret something else from that, please tell me. I don't know what that last one is, and I hope it's not like... Actually, I really don't think it's that serious. I don't think that part's that serious. And if you want to know where I got that tidbit of information from, it's in an hour-long video NetEase has from one of their conferences. A NetEase representative lady is giving this whole presentation, and that's on one of the slides at the end. But let's acknowledge our skeptics. Many skeptics are opposed to the idea that EOMM is actually in the game, despite identifiable patterns that indicate its presence in the gaming scene.
And y'all got to realize something, right? Y'all got to realize something. This game is a Chinese-made developing game, just like with TikTok. The same type of nefarious things that TikTok use to get people so immersed and so addicted to TikTok back in the day, and it's still to this day, they're doing the same thing. They coming from the same country. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. The Chinese, man, they know what they doing over there, man. They know what they doing over there.
This is because NetEase hasn't officially come out with a statement that they are implementing EOMM in Marvel Rivals, or even any sort of specifications to what the matchmaking prioritizes. Why is NetEase avoiding the subject? Well, you have to remember that EOMM is fairly new to being implemented into the popular gaming scene. You could say that the player base is a large-scale experiment being used to pull more data to make the system better. The system happens to be a learning AI matchmaker that uses collected data and patterns on us players to optimize its goal of engagement. When an experiment is ran, there is a factor researchers take into account called the Hawthorne effect. The Hawthorne effect refers to when participants in a study or experiment alter their behavior simply because they are aware they are being observed rather than due to any experimental manipulation. Wouldn't you want to keep your subjects or players in the dark to feed better data into learning AI? Plus, you wouldn't want too many players exploiting how the game works, as that would decrease playtime and further inflate the ranks. And if you still want to call it conspiracy, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince you, I'm just trying to inform you. Especially when the information is coming straight from NetEase themselves. If you haven't already, like and subscribe if you found this video helpful.
You know, that was a good video right there. Definitely shout out to bro. But he ain't lying though.
When I say this, I mean this.
He ain't lying though. He telling the truth on that. That's exactly what they doing, man. Our ass is goddamn experiments, man. We're guinea pigs in this bad boy. And we're just along for the ride.